I'm going through another divorce, which, you know, that's how it goes. Some people say, well, the institution of marriage is being weakened with gay people, for example. They're trying to get married, you know, it's weakening the institution of marriage. Like, that's the problem. Like, you know, like my wife was like, yeah, I don't care about the drugs and the alcohol and the fact that we hate each other. It's just these gay guys that seem to want to get fucked. You don't choose who you are, who you're not. You don't choose who you're attracted to. I happen to be attracted to women. It sucks. It means every 10 years or so I gotta give all my shit away and start from scratch. And it's getting tedious. Not only do I think gay guys should be allowed to get married, I think they should have to get married because I'm a little tired of their happy-go-lucky lifestyles and they should have to suffer just like everybody else. Yes, it's a little delicate, but I know the 4 gay guys that are here and they're cool with it. Gay guys have it made. I'm tired of it. Always in good moods, dancing around, cooking up shit all day long. Being married to a guy would be great. Because really, these guys are some of these gay guys are in their 60s, and they still look great. Why is that? Because they don't have someone at home sucking the will to live right out of them. Being married to a dude would be great. Could you imagine saying something and having the words you said interpreted exactly the way that you intended it? Wouldn't that be a nice change of pace? Remember what you said 10 years ago? We were driving in the car on the way to my mother's house? No. Oh, me neither. I'm a dude. Being married to a guy would be great. Other than the taking in the ass part. That would suck a little, right? But that's a trade-off I might be willing to make. I can't tell you how many times I've thought to myself, I would take a giant cock in the ass if you would just shut the fuck up. Now maybe I'm just a romantic, you know? We should wrap up. So we will talk about a couple last things. I guess New York is a good city, though. It's a pleasant city. Some people manage to stay happy here all the time. I saw these homeless guys singing a cappella in the subway. They were homeless, and they were singing a cappella in the subway. Have you ever seen those guys? How did they even meet? It's hard enough to form a band when you got a house and a phone and all that shit. How do you bump into other a cappella enthusiasts? You're out there on the homeless trail. You think you're just sitting around the shelter one day? I need some crack. Me too, me too. I ride the subway all the time. Because, you know, Joe will have you believe that riding the subway out here is just as easy as taking a cab around Manhattan. So, you know, we take the subway all the time around here. It's good. I used to worry about terrorism and strange transitional segues, but now I don't. I used to worry about terrorism, but we have an anti-terror program in place. I don't know if you've been in the subway, fancy pants. We've all been deputized. If you see any terrorism, you better report it, because that's the program, right? Signs everywhere down there. If you see something, say something. If you see something, say something. Anything unusual. Anything out of the ordinary. In the New York City subway system. You call that shit in. If you see something, say something. I once saw a guy peeing on a guy masturbating. I think I see something. Well, it's not terrorism per se, but it's definitely disruptive to the social fabric. I'll leave you with this last thought. It's about embryonic stem cell research. There's no time for subtlety here. You have to go right to the meat of the matter. Embryonic stem cells. The Obama administration, they lifted the ban on embryonic stem cell research, which is fantastic. I think the Obama administration is doing a great job, and I'm very excited about the way things are going. And, you know, mostly just because, I don't know why. But embryonic stem cell research, I'm pretty excited about it. I didn't really know exactly what it was. I just knew Christian groups hated it, so I thought it had to be awesome. So I went online to look it up. You know embryonic stem cells? They're stem cells that are derived from human embryos, and they could use them to cure diseases like Parkinson's and cancer. But Christian groups didn't want them to do it because they said these stem cells come from embryos, and the embryos represent life. There's a human life there. A human life, it's a couple of fucking cells. They're just a human egg, a few little invisible cells that have just been touched. Just touched by a teeny, tiny little bit of jizz. It's not a miracle. It's just jizz, just a little bit of jizz on there, that's all. It's jizz, it's not that big a deal, it's jizz. I have shitloads of it sitting around my apartment right now. It's not a miracle. It would be a miracle if the jizz could make a baby all by itself. That would be pretty miraculous. If I get back to my apartment, and there's a baby crawling out of my wastebasket, all covered in toilet paper and shit. I'm like, whoa! I better take a little jizz baby here to get baptized. Obviously, these Christian groups were onto something. I thought I had this ultra-liberal New York City-ish kind of crowd. It was going to end on a big pro-rights thing, and then I realized we went down the wrong path at the end. Could have stopped way earlier on a happy, upbeat note. Now I got to fucking retrench, pull back. Trying to focus on funny things as the rivers of sweat keep pouring down the crack of my ass. Exactly. Standing in my old living room in front of a group of strangers, sweating my balls off, trying to think of how to end this thing with dignity. Let's see. It's all about love is what I'm trying to say, really. It's about love. Did you guys follow that story about the horse with the fucked up leg? Paul McCartney's wife? You know what, let's just talk a little more recovery shit. That's probably I have my struggles with it, you know, in a way. I feel like you only have so much drug and alcohol use in you. Everyone has varying degrees of this disease, you know, and I think I wish I had just waited, you know, if I'd waited and started now I could really fucking use it, you know what I mean? This would be a good time to start. Like, I think people should hold off, start drinking at 40. The drinking age should be 40, because that's when you want to, that's when your life gets complicated. When you're young, everything is fun anyway. It's the things I gotta deal with now in my life that are impossible. Parent-teacher conferences, shit like that. Finding out your kid's a half a tard. That'd be a lot easier with some fat Rayos and a few shots of Jack in you, I can tell you that. But unfortunately, that's not an option anymore, because now I party too long and too hard. Now if I drink at all, I end up snorting crystal meth off a switchblade and some after-hours bar, thinking, shit, I'm going to miss my flight in the morning, except it's noon and the flight was like 6 weeks ago. That ship has sailed, unfortunately. But everybody should wait. Sex, like how much of drinking and drugs is all about sex. Really, later on is when you really need the chemicals. Later on in life. You know, when you've been grudgingly climbing out of the same woman for 25 years. That's when you need the beer goggles. Now when you're 18, man, save that shit up. Having sex with old people is disgusting. I don't know why everybody's so sensitive about that. It's just the facts. Fucking an old person is disgusting. I know, because I used to work in a nursing home. And it's worse for women, way worse for women. Because now with Viagra, guys are going to want to have sex forever. Could you imagine that? Laying there looking up at the hollowed out shell of the man you married, some broken down, sweaty old dude with his bald, liver spotted head glistening in the nightlight. He's wheezing and groaning with his saggy man tits flopping around like tubs with gray hair whipping you in the face like two Santa Claus beard sticking in your chin as he grinds his bony pelvis in you. Wouldn't that be a nice time for some ecstasy? Wouldn't that be nice? Oh shit, this ain't bad at all. His 2-foot scrotum feels like the tongue of God. Well, thank you very much. Good luck with everything.
Thanks everybody for coming. Please go to the rally. Thank you, Kristen Johnston. Thank you. Jesse Joyce, Mike Stefano, and Greg Giraldo. That's the live conference.